And welcome back to the Glass Replacement Company pregame show here on HBC TV 25. Justin Barrientos along with John Millea from the Minnesota State High School League, writer of the John's Journal on the Minnesota State High School League website, and also co-host of Preps Today with John Millea with Jim Souhan from the Star Tribune. Welcome to Winona.
Thanks, Justin. It's great to be here. The game hasn't even started. I'm having a blast.
Well, it's such an electric atmosphere here today. How does this compare to games around the state?
Yeah, this is pretty picturesque for one thing with the bluffs and everything, and I've never been to Paul Giel Field, and yeah, this is as good as I've seen, and I do go to games all over the state. You got a big crowd here. The band's right in front of us, and yeah, this is really awesome. I'm blown away.
Now, you've been in the Minnesota area for a while. You're originally from Iowa, worked in Phoenix, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then you came here to work for the Star Tribune, and in about 2010 or so, you started working for the high school league, right?
Yeah, 2010. I was at the Star Tribune as a sports reporter for just about 20 years. And, covered all the pro teams and then kind of gravitated towards the high schools. Really fell in love with it, and that kind of led to this position with the high school league. I'm basically the journalist for the high school league, so I get in my car and drive all over the state. And, I've been to a swim meet and a cross-country meet and a volleyball game this week. Here I am in Winona, so yeah, I have a pretty good job.
Yeah, absolutely. You were in New Prague, I think, yesterday,
yep.
And then came here to Winona today.
You
You announce ahead of time when you're coming to a place. Are you surprised with the welcome you get? There's a banner here. The band is welcoming you. I see in different communities they have food ready for you and different things. Are you surprised by the reception you get?
No, I've gotten used to it. I'm kind of embarrassed by the whole thing because I feel I still look at myself as a journalist. I'm here to report and write. But I do have a lot of fun, and I've been doing this so long, and I've lived in Minnesota for, 27 years, and I just know so many people. We're watching Tim Gleason and Myron and the band here. I've known Tim forever, as a coach mostly.
Sure.
And other people in Winona that I've gotten to know over the years. And now you're on the list now, my friend.
Oh, I like that.
So just about everywhere I go, I know somebody.
Okay.
And that's one of the beauties of my job is the people I get to hang out with.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the game tonight. We've been kind of saying beforehand that this is maybe one of the top games in the state tonight. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, that's the main reason I'm here, because it should be a great game. When it's early in the year yet, although tonight's the halfway point in the season. But 2 3-0 teams, 2 teams that went really, really deep in the postseason last year. They both got to U.S. Bank Stadium. And I'm always intrigued when a team has a season like that, the next year what happens. Because you always lose players. You always have holes to fill, but that enthusiasm of having that deep postseason run in any sport always carries over, and we're seeing that tonight. And I know in Mankato at West, they've seen that all season already. And to me, that's kind of an intriguing thing. What do you do the next year?
Right. I want to ask about how the rest of the state maybe sees Winona football, because for years they were down. 2 years ago they were really close. They get to the Prep Bowl last year. They're off to a 3-0 start this year. Is Winona still kind of a dark horse, or are people starting to respect Winona football?
I think once you get to the U.S. Bank Stadium and the Prep Bowl especially, and you're on TV statewide, I think people who pay attention to high school football, Winona's on their radar now. And I was talking to somebody earlier. I said, to me, the best memories I have of our first Prep Bowl at the new stadium were the Windhawks and the team from Elk River.
Okay.
2 teams that got there, really for the first time in a long time, if ever. And Elk River won their championship. The Windhawks came up short. But the giant crowds that came from Winona and Elk River, and just the enthusiasm at a lot of schools, that happens fairly often. You have a really good football program. You make these deep runs. But to see these schools that are there for the first time, and everybody in town is there. And when it's the big schools, there's a lot of people there. Yeah. The little schools can bring everybody in, and in those big stadiums, it doesn't seem like much. But those are the 2 things I'll remember from last year's postseason, were just the giant crowds from Elk River and Winona.
All right, I'll just ask you a couple more questions so you can get out and enjoy the rest of the game. Where are you off to next?
Tomorrow I'm going to be at a cross-country meet in the Twin Cities in Falcon Heights. It's a big one. It's the Roy Griak Invitational, and they've got Division I college men's and women's teams coming in. They have Division II and III, and then they have high school races. It's an all-day cross-country thing at the U of M golf course, and I wouldn't miss it for the world. And, everybody down here knows Grace Pang from Cotter.
Yes.
She's going to run. She won it 2 years ago as a 7th grader against competition from around the country. This is not just Minnesota runners. So I'll be there tomorrow. I've already got a couple of big volleyball matches on my schedule next week. I don't know where I'll be for football next week, but usually by the time Monday rolls around, I start going through the football games and thinking about stories and what would be fun.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us here today. Again, welcome to Winona.
You bet. Thanks, Justin.
All right. John Millea from the Minnesota State High School League joining us today. This is the Glass Replacement Company pregame show. We'll take a break. Paul Van Beek will join us to set up the game. It is Winona versus Mankato West. This is Football Night on HBC.